First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rekah Kwadash, and the ourselves great millstone, while unto truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say Shalom, and come back here today with another great and powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is Georgia school shooting. So I like to say Shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to help you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I have a quick news article here by CBS News. And it reads, it said 4 dead, 9 hospitalized after shooting at high school in Georgia. 14-year-old suspect in custody. Let's get a little bit more. It says here, it said 4 people were killed and 9 more were hospitalized with injuries after a shooting Wednesday morning at a high school in northern Georgia. Authorities have confirmed. Said Georgia Bureau of Investigation Director Chris Hosey said at an afternoon news conference that 2 of the victims were killed. Said 2 of the victims who were killed were students and 2 were teachers at the Appalachian High School located in Wiener, Georgia. So we're seeing right now that, it's around election time, instant repeat of 2020. So we're not ignorant of Satan device. So we're constantly seeing that he's talking about another school shooting, a mass shooting. A lot of these things that constantly happen, order out of chaos. And they're going to constantly pick up left and right, because we already know what all this is leading to, what total control, bring forth this new system that they get ready to bring into play. This Tartarian law, we seeing that it's coming into play left and right, and one thing about, we know that what the devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath. So this still is a developing story. It says, once again, it said 4 dead, 9 hospitalized after shooting at high school in Georgia. It said 14-year-old suspect in custody. So this time, this 14-year-old, was he a crisis actor? Hey, when anybody, we're not ignorant of the same device. So we see it right here that they have him in custody, so we're going to see how this play out. So we already know they call all sorts of things, calamities, all sorts of uncertainty, tell you that this is happening, that is happening, just like what George Floyd incident, we already know that all these things have been manufactured, been, put together, cause to bring forth their agenda, total control. So we know that we're very close, that they are getting ready to put things into play. We knowing that this devil is getting ready to bring everything out, So we already know that many great misery is getting ready to befall a lot of people, because a lot of people right now still not aware, still thinking that this ain't gonna happen, that ain't gonna happen. It's happening right before your eye. They constantly bringing these events, putting it right in your face, because they have a hidden agenda. What is that hidden agenda? Once again, total control. So now let's go here and get a quick precept. Let's go here to 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us. We are not ignorant of his devices. So who is the physical counterpart of Satan? Esau, Edom, the modern day so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks. And that advantage is what? Total control, the NWO, one world currency, one world government, one world religion. He's imagining what? A vain thing. So we know that the devil is trying to fill his belly, his agenda, his plan. He said, it says here, so for we are not ignorant of his device. Who is that? The prophets, the true believers of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And those devices goes into his mindset. So let's go into this word right quick. Let's go into the interstellar. Let's look up the word devices for edification purpose. Let's go here to, let's drop down here, G3540. Let's look it up right quick.
Strong's G3540, Naima. Naima.
In the Greek, it said Naima. Naima. Let's see what the online basic biblical uses, what it says. It says a mental perception, thought, and evil purpose. Is spot on right there. It said that which think the mind, thoughts, or purpose. So, that's his agenda, his his plan, his mindset. He want what? Total control. He thinking that he is a God, but he just a mere man. And the Lord is what? Is in perfect control. The so-called white man, he's not in control. He's only doing the bidding of the Lord from what? The left-hand side. He's the Lord, sword. So we know he's getting ready to use that sword in a big way. His military, his technology, his pseudoscience. A lot of these things are getting ready to come into play. So we're going to see more and more of these type of events that's going to keep coming into play until they announce whatever they get ready to bring out. We already know all road lead to what? That grain of rice. So let's go back to Second Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11. Let's go back and let's read this again. Let's read in NLT. It said, Second Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11 in the NLT says, so that Satan will not outsmart us, for we are familiar with his evil schemes. So that's exactly right. So we seen this instant repeat of 2020. We already know what happened in 2020. These manufactured lockdown. Also, this not a pandemic. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about a pandemic, but we know that it was a pandemic. Also, about these school shootings. A lot of these things have been planned out. Crisis active. All sorts of agents, all sorts of things is happening, oppose, opposition, a lot of things that they constantly putting right in your face to bring forth another agenda. They can cause this to happen over here and something else is happening over there. So once again, we're not ignorant of his device, because he's trying to outwit you. He's trying to with these lies and these deception. One thing about it, we already knowing that the whole world is a stage, so everything has been staged, but through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. So let's read this once again. It said, lest Satan should get an advantage. Who is the physical counterpart of Satan? The so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks. And what is that advantage? Total control. And it said, for we are not ignorant of his devices. That means the true believer, the prophet. We constantly warn you left and right. And also this wisdom, this knowledge constantly making Esau barren. Wisdom and knowledge should be the stability of the time. So we are familiar with his evil scheme, because he constantly rolling it out right before your eyes, because he knowing that his time is very short. He's seeing that his days are determined. He got bounds that he cannot pass, and we cannot wait. So we knowing that these things gonna constantly pick up. These school shootings, these mass shootings, police brutality. A lot of these things they constantly putting right in your face. Also, this civil unrest with the Venezuelan gang. They already saying that the Hell Angels, and they were saying something was happening in Chicago. All these different order out of chaos, creating the chaos so they can bring forth that solution. So we're not ignorant of his devices, what he's trying to bring forth, which in fact is total control. So now let's start today's video, and after the video we'll start the lesson. I hope that you will get edified.
At least 4 victims are dead, and several others have been taken to hospitals after a gunman opened fire at Appalachie High School in Winder, Georgia. The high school, which is home to around 1,900 students, was put on lockdown. As shots rang out, students could hear screams ringing through the school. Heavily armed police were seen entering the school as students were evacuated into the football stadium. Petrified parents showed up amid the situation to try to reunite with their children. One mother stating, "A parent's worst nightmare." Mother Erin Clark received a text message from her son, Ethan, telling her there was a school shooting underway. The suspect is alive and in custody. According to sources, the shooter is believed to be a 14-year-old male, but it's unclear whether the student attends the school. The first injured victim has been identified, David Phoenix, a special education teacher and coach at the school. This is a developing story. Follow Daily Mail for updates.
Of those that are deceased, 2 were students and 2 were teachers here at the school. The shooter is in custody. His name is Colt. That's C-O-L-T Gray. He is a 14-year-old student here at the school. G-R-A-Y. He will be charged with murder, and he will be tried as an adult.
So now let's start today's lesson. We'll start here, a very quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Let's go here. Let's start here in Proverbs chapter 4, and we'll start up around verse 16. Proverbs chapter 4, one moment. Proverbs chapter 4, we'll start up at verse 16. So we're seeing these things are constantly picking up mischief behind mischief, one event after another event, it's constantly what? Picking up. The devil's getting ready to come down with great wrath. So let's go here. It said Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 16 said, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and they sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. So that's what we see in left and right. They constantly, working overtime right now, constantly trying to bring it for all sorts of lies and deception, all sorts of what? Chaos, all sorts of what? Mischief upon mischief. So let's read it in the NLT. It said, for evil people can't sleep until they done their evil deed for today. It said they can't rest until they cause someone to stumble. So that's exactly what they trying to do. Put you in that chokehold, constantly thinking that this is happening, but something else is happening. You understand what I'm saying? Verse 17 said, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. So we're knowing that the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and one thing about it, he cannot rub it away. He can't get around it. It is what it is. He is the wicked that the Bible speaks of. He will do wickedly. You know what I'm saying? He is the harbinger of death. And one thing about death and hell follow this man everywhere you go. Chaos, mischief. If Esau is on the scene, this is exactly what's getting ready to happen. NLT, let's read an NLT. It says they eat the food of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. So he is the deceitful bloody man. Let's get that. So we seeing right now that when we seeing all the devices that he's constantly rolling out, and one thing about the Lord is constantly shedding light. Shameful spirit is upon his glory. So we know that this man, how he deal. He constantly dealing very treacherously, and he's getting ready to deal. These nations getting ready to deal very treacherously with him. Let's go here to Psalm chapter. I think it's 5. Psalm chapter 5. I think it's around verse 5. What I'm looking for. Let's start here. I think this is it. It says here. It says Psalm chapter 5 and verse 5 said, the foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. So we already knowing that, the workers of iniquity do work. But one thing about it, who is standing up against the workers of iniquity? Those are the prophets are constantly warning you, constantly keeping not silent, warning you all these impending dangers that are fast approaching. Evils are growing on every side. Verse 6, it said, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing. The Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. So that's what's getting ready to happen. The Lord, the abhor, when you go into that word abhor, it goes into abomination. This man is very abominable. He do all sorts of a profane thing. He's outside the temple. And one thing about it, he's constantly doing his job very well. You know what I'm saying? One thing about it, he is the sower. That's where you're asking the Lord, disappoint him. You know what I'm saying? Deliver us from your soul, you know what I'm saying? Deliver from him. We get that in a minute too. It says here once again, it says, thou shalt destroy them that speak leasing or lying. Said the Lord will abhor the bloody and deceitful man. So we already who are the bloody and deceitful man, seeing it every day, mass shooting, you seeing explosion, fire, all sorts of things. He constantly causing all sorts of wreaking havoc. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord's getting ready to cut off that long disease. Let's read this in the NLT. It said, you will destroy those who tell lies. Said the Lord detests murderers and deceivers. Who is that murderer and deceiver? That is what Esau Edom. You know what I'm saying? The wicked, the bloody and deceitful man. So we seeing right now that he constantly bringing it forth, all sorts of wickedness, all sorts of deception and lies. And one thing they lie from what? Straight out the womb. As soon as his mouth open up, he's telling you a lie. Let's go here. Let's get this one right here. I butcher it. Might as well go in and get it. Psalm chapter 17 and verse 13. Let's get this right quick for edification. You know what I'm saying? I stumble over it and I might as well get it. To clear that up. Let's go here. It says Psalm chapter 17 and verse 13. It says, arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down. Said, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. And not about the sword is what? The so-called white man. You know what I'm saying? That is going into his blessing. Genesis chapter, I think around 27, around 39, 40. So we see it right here that he's getting ready to use that sword in a big way. His military, his technology, his pseudoscience, he's constantly bringing it left and right, order out of chaos. There's going to be a lot of killing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of persecution, mourning. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things are getting ready to come upon us. So we're going to constantly see these things left and right. But one thing about it, you got to have the discernment of the spirit. Let's read it in the In the NLT, so arise, O Lord, stand against them that bring them to their knee. Let's read this once again. So arise, O Lord, stand against them and bring them to their knees. Man, how long, O Lord? Said, rescue me from the wicked, which is thy sword. He is the harbinger of death. And one thing about that is his blessing. But the Lord's getting ready to come and take that sword out of his hand. The Lord's getting ready to judge him and cut him off forever. So now, let's go here to Ecclesiasticus. Let's go here to Ecclesiasticus chapter 9. You know, this man had what? Power to kill. Power what? To bring forth all these different devices, you know, these different mischievous devices. Also, you know what I'm saying, all this lies and deception. We've seen it right before our eyes. Let's go here. Ecclesiasticus, Sirach. Let's go here to 9 and verse 13. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 9 and 13 say, keep thee far from the man that has power to kill, so shall thou not doubt the fear of death. And if thou come unto him, make no fault, lest he take away thy life presently. So remember that thou goest in the midst of snares or traps, and that thou walkest upon the battlements of the city. So that's what we seeing left and right. So we already know that this man, you know, has the power to kill, you know, because what the power is in his hand, but only for a short season. So we know that this man is getting ready to come down with great wrath. We know that he's getting ready to come with all sorts of chaos, all sorts of catastrophes, you know, but it's all through the spirit and the power of Yahweh. This man is getting ready to be overthrown violently. You know, that the Lord is getting ready to cut him off. The Lord is getting ready to destroy what? Babylon the Great. You know, so these things are coming upon us left and right. We're seeing that he's seeing that his days are determined. He's seeing that, you know, that he losing his grip on the world. We know right now that these heathens are raging. You know, they saying that now have you become weak as we? So that they constantly bucking up left and right. But now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. Let's see exactly what he's getting ready to do. That's why we keep seeing these things left and right. It says here, Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12 says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knowing that he has but a short time. So he knowing that he's very close. You know, he's seeing the signs of the time. He's seeing the prophecy. Also, he's seeing the men of the Lord in the highways and the byways, constantly chatting this place down. And we constantly, you know what I'm saying? It's constantly shedding light on all this wickedness. You know, what this wisdom, this knowledge, and this gospel. You know, the Lord already said this gospel shall be preached, then shall the end come. Esau is the end of this earth, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. So no matter what type of event or what type of chaos or what type of calamity or thing that he put into place, you know what I'm saying, it really does not matter, because the Lord, he is in perfect control. A school shooting over here, a mass shooting over here, you know, blood touching blood, you know, murder is running rapid, you know, violence is very increased, you know. And one thing about it, but the Lord is getting ready to cease the arrogancy of the proud. So we know that these things are playing out just like clockwork, because he knowing that his time is very short. We're in that transition of power, you know what I'm saying, and the birth pain. So these things gonna constantly pick up. And once again, we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Georgia school shooting. So I'd like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.